Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Good evening, everyone. We would like to thank you for tuning in to Let's Get It Productions Empowered Women's Podcast. My name is Tracy Wiley, and I'll let my other two hosts introduce themselves.
My name is LaLonda Trim.
And my name is Andreola Brown.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, first, I would really like to send a shout out to my husband, who is my best friend, the love of my life, Charles Wiley, for putting Let's Get It podcast together. But our topic today is abuse and how to empower yourself to overcome it. You know, family and domestic violence is a common problem in the United States, affecting an estimated 10 million people every year. As many as 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men are victims of domestic violence. Today we have 2 powerful ladies that have overcome and persevered through the terrible odds of domestic abuse and of course all kinds of trauma that comes with that. And I would like to introduce today Miss Linda Kidd and Miss Tara Knight. I'm gonna let the guests introduce themselves and just tell a little bit about themselves, give it about 10 minutes or so. And who would like to go first? Miss Tara Knight.
Yes, I'm Tara Knight. I am the mother of 3 grown children. My youngest will be 30 next month, and I have 5 granddaughters. My story as far as domestic violence hit me at 50. My injuries were very egregious. Broke spine, and broke jaw, broke my side. Domestic violence is a single major precursor to fatalities from child abuse and neglect. Survivors like myself are likely to meet the criteria of depression, anxiety disorder, and PTSD. I suffered all 3. Healing can be done alone. We have to talk to someone. You can't be afraid or scared. For me, I see a therapist. My therapist is like my best friend. I see her weekly. I have to test her and give her a score from like 1 to 3, going from 1 worst, 10 best. I've been stuck at a 3 for about 6 months. I have been a 2 where I wanted to kill myself. I had planned it out, but I just couldn't take it anymore. I had already planned it out. I was gonna take some pills. I do see a psychiatrist monthly. I do take medication to help me function. And right now, I'm in a state where I don't feel anything. I have no feelings toward anything. It's just, okay, sorry, you want $1 million? Okay, I got $1 million. I find the strength to advocate and help women no matter where in the country or overseas. I do have a Facebook Messenger support group. I have women from all over the world. I even have a couple in the UK. I have 1 in Canada. So I've had to study the laws in the different states or continents to see where the laws is. And Canada really doesn't care. You get beat up, you just beat up. You basically have to sit still and make sure you keep your kids. So I do have a foundation, and it's called Empowerment Centers. And what we do is we openly pray together, we openly talk about things. We really try to get over survivor's guilt, like, why did I survive and why somebody else didn't? And sometimes it's very hard. Survive, but have survivor's guilt because we live to tell our story when some can't. I advocate for the ones who can and the children who are now motherless. Survivors are 3 times more likely to have suicidal thoughts like me, 4 times likely to actually commit suicide. This hell takes you places in your mind that is hard to come back from. When you have depression, it's a dark place, and you actually have to climb out of it. But it's really hard. It's been almost 6 years for me, and I'm still in the process of healing. I have triggers now. If you say the wrong thing to me, you raise your voice, you just stay in my face. You can say my name really loud, and I'm triggered. I can't do anger. I shut down. I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I just shut me down. My story in that moment of being assaulted in my home was an out-of-body experience. Like, Tara had left, and who was there was beaten with a clothespin. I lost count. The last time he hit me, I was running for the bathroom. As I got hit that last time and I was falling to the floor, it was, oh my God, my kids can't see me like this. It was like, oh God. I hit the floor on the same side he had beat me on, which is the left side of my face, which is paralyzed now. I bite my tongue a lot because I can't feel it, so I just eat on the right side of my face. When I thought he was gone, I tried to get up, and God said, no, play dead so you can live. So I just laid there. I was numb. I was still not believing what just happened to me. Like, I have a picture of what I look like before, and I have a picture of what I look like after, and you can't recognize me. If I smile, you can see it. I have a knot. Everybody thinks it's a dimple. It's not. It's nerves, muscles, and tendons that are just balled up because of my trigeminal nerve, which is one of the 5 controls everything on the left side of my face. And it's destroyed completely. I get nerve blocks in my face and in my head. It's almost like when you go to the dentist and they give you that lidocaine to numb you up. I get those like every 3 months because the pain is just like, it's unbearable. What I feel about domestic violence is we have an envision on society where all people are free of systematic, collective, and individual trauma. My advocacy now work with senators, in Congress and other organizations to try to break the silence against domestic violence. There are laws, but they need to be stricter. If you are actually beating someone and they say it's aggravated assault, my thought is it should be attempted murder. But it's not attempted murder, it's aggravated assault. Because he tried to kill. We must respond to trauma, mental health. So after 6 years, my case is finally going to trial. Justice will be served. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Why I'm doing this podcast is to bring serious knowledge to exactly what domestic violence is. It changes your life. You're always thinking somebody's looking over your shoulder. The littlest thing you hear, you think that somebody's breaking into your house. I really don't leave my house a lot. I don't go out at night. Anything that I need, like doctor's appointments, therapists, everything is like within 10 miles of my house. So if I have to go to Walmart's 3 miles away, go to the doctor's, it's 2 miles away. Like, if I have to leave my house to do something, I do it quick and fast so I can get back home. It's amazing how trauma comes to light. 24 women per minute are assaulted. They have survivor's guilt like I do. Some can't get out. And when you are trying to get out, I talk to women to help them make a plan of action. To have a bag ready with your social security numbers, birth certificates, and stuff like that. So I am really working on being an advocate for domestic violence.
Thank you, thank you. I'm just so sorry that you had to go through that. No one should have to go through anything like that. That's why we're here today, to just talk about it and just bring more awareness to people out there.
I was
Thank you.
50, and it hit, I
Yeah.
was 50, like, I was 50 years old.
We thank you for that, and thank you for your having the courage and just to come out of it and just even here speaking with us today. So we're gonna move on here to Miss Linda Kidd.
Hello.
Hello.
I am Linda Kidd, and I just want to commend you for stepping forward and begin to share this story, because it is a story that has been around for a long time, and it hasn't been told. We know many, back in the day, they just put up with it and just went on and dealt with it. For me, coming from Cincinnati, going to college in Bowling Green, Ohio, that was my first experience with intimate partnership violence, they call it. But actually, it was an eye-opener for me in so many different ways. Without going into a whole lot of detail, we're used to, and I speak to all the young women out there as well as the more mature women, some who are still going through it or are experiencing it for the first time. You don't have to stay in those situations. But one thing that I've learned through that is that we try to hide it because we are first surprised that we are being hit. This is the man that said he loved you. And now, wait a minute, he's putting his hands on you? Normally, it's not a first time. When it happens the first time, oh baby, I love you, I'll never do it again. And we believe that, right? But that's not the way it works. You are going to be hit again. If he puts his hands on you once, he's going to do it again. So you've got to begin to think about these things so you don't put yourself in those situations. And I want to cover some of those red flags a little bit later. But at 18, I experienced abuse. I'm away from home for the first time. This naive 17-year-old, I would say a girl, and just experienced some things I had never experienced. Ashamed. I didn't want my family to know. And hid for years and years the things that I was put through. Just ashamed that I was even in that situation. But it happened. And it continued for a number of years. I married my abuser. Look for that book. I married my abuser. And I say that not with a lot of excitement, but that's my reality. And it takes years to get to that point where you can say that without fear, without shame. It doesn't matter. That is fact and that is true. So that is how my journey started, ashamed, and it continued for a number of years. And through that, yes, I found myself hiding in a closet, 2 children, wondering, I don't want to be here anymore. I thought about ways, and that's what we do. But with 2 children, no, I couldn't do that. But by the grace of God, He having His hands on my life, all that stuff that I went through, I became stronger. Now I have a course for women, and that is only the first of many. And I invite you to text me or email me, and I can give you access to that. Loving beyond toxicity. At a certain point when we've worked through all of that, see, that was 18. I'm 60 now. I went through a lot of that. I'm still growing. But God has put me on this path. I left corporate America and left a lot of money behind in order to be here in this space. This is my calling. Loving beyond toxicity is first you loving you. When you begin to know you and love you and put all those other things aside, now you can be able to turn down, hey baby, you look good. How are you? Look for those red flags. And I want to share some with you. If that person shows jealousy and possessiveness, run.
Yes.
Controlling behavior, run. Quick involvement, like they've been knowing you for years, run. Unrealistic expectations, you want to run and get away. Don't believe that you can change that person.
Amen.
I'm speaking to the girl, the young girl, the teenager, the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. You can't change them. They got to work on themselves. And it takes a while for them to understand that. And they may never get it, but you got to get yourself together so you can begin to make some different choices for yourself. Boundaries, you got to have those boundaries. And once you set those boundaries, you can't go back. You can't go back. We talk about forgiveness in my course. Forgiveness, because you got to forgive yourself. You were 18, whatever age you were, you did the best you could with the knowledge that you had. So you got to forgive yourself. And then stop doubting yourself. You are beautiful. You are wonderful. You are worthy. You are amazing. And don't let no one take that from you. There's so much more, but I know we've got a limited window.
Amen.
So I will stop right here and turn it back over to Ms. Bobby.
Thank you. That was awesome. You ladies are awesome. Whew. I had to get myself together now to hear both of y'all, you ladies. That's okay. Yes. So You know, so let me just ask, so you ladies, whichever one would like to answer this question. Why do you think women and girls experience more abuse, although men and boys can also be victims?
Self-esteem, low self-esteem, definitely confidence, a lack of confidence in themselves. A lot of this stems too, when they're younger, not getting their, let's just say their community is not there to give them that, the information that they need, to encourage them that they can be that who they are, because they've got to know who they are. You know, and not fall for everything that comes their way. So if they're not getting that love at home, they're gonna seek it because they desire, they're gonna seek it elsewhere. So that's a big part of it.
Sometimes they've even grown up in a house and they see their mom consistently being beat. So when they get older and they're hit, they think it's okay because they've seen it growing up.
So, Ms. Kidd, you said look for the book. Is it a book that's being written, or is it a book that's already?
It's being written.
It's been written.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
It's being written.
It's being, okay, it's in a process
Yes.
of being written.
Yes.
Okay, and
But I do have my course now available.
okay, so how does your course look? How is it structured?
Okay, it is it is a virtual online course, and it's made up of 3 modules. And the first one is about forgiving yourself. It's about forgiving, and you got to work through that. And part of that is not doubting yourself. And then you've got celebrating your wins. So that's the first part of loving life beyond toxicity, because life is good. You know,
Amen.
we the ones who can mess it up. You know, but once we get it, life is really good. And it took me a while to get there. And the second part of that is about minding your mind. You gotta mind your mind. Because when you mind your mind, you find your joy. You find your joy in that. So your belief system, yourself, what are the limiting beliefs that you have about yourself? I'm not good enough. Are those the words that you speak to yourself? I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Or that person is better. You know, all those different things. You've got to identify those limiting beliefs and begin to start healing from them. Whether it be having a friend, talking to a friend, or it depends on how deep it goes. Therapy, but you've got to identify those limiting beliefs and begin to work through them. For me, one, still get a little bit emotional about it, is the one that I couldn't say for years, is I'm not worthy. I couldn't look in the mirror and say, I am worthy. It took me years to get to the point because of a part of physical violence. We're talking about mental, emotional, all of that. And I would say for me, it was the mental and emotional abuse that was even worse than the physical. Why? Because the physical, I know in your situation it's a little bit deeper, but for me, the physical, those bruises, those pains, they heal. But what takes a lot longer to heal is you a bee. And that's when the bee wasn't known as a popular word to use. You a bee. That was in my head. You know, you can't do anything right. All those things was feeding into my head. Even as I moved along in my journey, they were there. So I have to continue to work to replace those I am not worthy. To let women know that you are worthy, you are beautiful, and you are wonderfully made. And then go to the word for my strength.
So in your course, is there a biblical principle?
In this particular course, there is. There is. I am going, this was my first version. I am even going to do a deeper version because as you move along your journey, I tell everyone, keep going, no matter what you are, what path you're on, don't give up, keep going. Why? Because you grow during the journey. God downloads in you during the journey and you get stronger and stronger. So more information has come. That was the first one. There are more to come on specific, subject matters dealing with domestic violence.
So how do they get the information for your healing workshop?
For my healing workshop, you can reach me at justbehealthyu@gmail.com and I will send you the information. That's JustBehealthyu, the letter U, @gmail.com. And I will definitely get you the information for you to access that coursework. I also am, I do volunteer work in the same area here in the city. There is a great center here called Eve Center. It's located right down the street, as a matter of fact. The one that I basically do volunteering there. And any women that want direct support right now, you want to contact the Eve Center and they will guide you through that system in order for you to be served as well. My number also, 513-623-7013. I do schedule appointments, but just contact me. I'm here. This is my lane. This is my purpose.
Can you repeat that number?
513-623-7013. Linda Kidd. K-I, Diamond. No longer, no. But Diamond.
Amen.
Okay, ladies, when you look back at your situation, when you came into the relationship, what are some of the red flags? What are some of the signs that you missed, that you was aware of after you got in that situation?
I started seeing the signs, catching them in lives. He was taking jobs out of the state. He's a narcissist. He set on structure to fit him. He always has, he was with me, but he was grooming other women at the same time. So when he couldn't get any more out of me, he would just move on to the next one. So narcissists don't care. It's all about them. And you can read up on it in YouTube. And I did that to see how to have a conversation with him. And we had a conversation where he was trying to flip it on me, get me to argue with him. And the YouTube message said, just say, I agree to disagree. So we were having an argument, and I said, I agree to disagree. And he didn't know what to say. He was stuck, he couldn't come back. So that saved me. But when it happened, I had to go into survival mode, like really quick. Like I knew he was getting ready to leave the state for work. So I filed for divorce. I made sure the state had picked up the charges, got a divorce while he was out of state. He ran from being served, so they finally just tacked it on his door. And I was divorced within 6 months of my son. So COVID kind of slowed it down. So he's actually walking free. When I lived in Georgia, it was a stay-away order. he couldn't come into my county. But he was in a different county, but he was still only 11 miles away from me. So I knew he was watching me. Cutting brake lines, stabbing tires, cutting my water hose, turning my water on. I think he had another pair of keys, because you know where stuff is in your house.
Right.
I would come home and stuff would be where it was. Had to change the locks a few times. Had my best friend move in with me because I had a 3-bedroom house. And my best friend right now is a fully loaded 12 gauge. And it stays with me wherever. It's under my couch right now because I sleep on my couch a lot. But when I sleep on my bed, my gun is right there. So I'm very protected. I have knives in different places of my house, everywhere. And then I have my gun. So if you call my house, in the drawer, there's a K-bar knife.
Miss
If
Terry,
you in the
Miss Terry got
kitchen,
something for
there's
us?
another knife.
Yes, so, women, why do women stay in abusive relationships? I know a lot of the basic reasons, just afraid, fear for their lives, things of that nature. Why did you stay?
Well, I think a big part of that, bottom line, is in the beginning, you don't see that. It doesn't happen right away, And everything is good. As a narcissist, you see that good side, not that Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. And so you are in love,
Right.
and he's expressing that love to you. The abuse comes later. And when it happens, I'm sorry, you feel like it's going to be okay until it happens again. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. And you go on, and then you also feel like you can make things better, So you stay. And I'm telling you, before you know it, a year passes, 2 years passes.
Some women don't leave because of the financial. They were stay-at-home mom. So they don't have no money. They have a car, but they don't have no money to get a hotel. So they stay because they don't have the money. That's the real main reason why they stay.
But eventually, I work with the women, and I have on TikTok, that's my platform. That's why I'm there. And if you want to check it out, it's I Am Linda Kidd. And it says, I am Linda Kidd for a reason. You know where that comes from, right? I have to say it with power. That's where you can find me there. And all of my content is about helping women move beyond toxicity. Because you can't, until I realize that you can't help anyone that don't want to leave, that's not ready to leave. They've got to be ready to leave. And what has to happen? It's got to go from your heart to your head. And once that moves to your head, it's just all about putting together a safe plan for you to get your finances together, work your plan while you're in that situation. But it's no longer in your heart. So no longer will the baby I love you work. You're planning on making your move to begin a new journey for yourself. So it's got to go from your heart to your head. And then you can seek the support that you need.
It takes a woman about 7 times to leave and not go back. Because sometimes they'll leave and they'll go back. They'll leave, they'll come back. So the average, time, they leave about 7 times before they don't go back.
It's a journey. It's a journey, and it's different for everyone.
So some examples, like of how to stop attracting abusive partners. So I know you have to learn about healthy relationships on proper ways that relationships should go. Building a network of caring and supporting relationships, and always work on building your confidence and self-esteem, which is what you, Ms. Linda Kidd, was talking about as part of your program, building confidence and self-esteem. So I know, because a lot of them I know that some women or girls, they leave one abusive relationship and then they're in another abusive relationship. So it's like so those are, I know, some examples of attracting, how to stop attracting, how to not attract abusive partners. Yes, so, now I know now there is a 1-800 hotline number out there for
Yeah.
women as well, girls and women as well. Yes.
1-800-799-7233.
Yes,
And the Ohio Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-934-9840.
yes, thank you. So we want to make sure our viewers have that number and know that number, because you never know, there could be someone out there that needs that. Just have it on hand, just in case. Someone may know someone, and just give it to them. So we appreciate that information. Next question from you ladies, before we
So,
wrap it up.
Ms. Linda Kidd, it seems like if a person is not ready to leave, it sounds like you have many resources in your program that can help them prepare, so when they do hit rock bottom and when they can't take anymore, they will already be able to have a planning process.
Definitely. I just found that I can give more support to the woman who I'm there for the voice to be heard, that we are out here, but for the woman who is ready and say, I'm ready, I'm here. Even for the one who isn't ready to raise their hand, but wants to pick up the phone and call me, I'm here.
How does can you speak a little bit on verbal abuse?
Oh, God.
I know
Verbal abuse, they go silent on you. They don't tell you, you're beautiful. They don't compliment you at all. They'll sleep in a different room, like you won't talk for months. Or they'll just say real sneaky things. They are predators. They are predators, so they look for somebody that they think they can manipulate, or, somebody who really doesn't have confidence or self-esteem. Narcissists are terrible. I know a narcissist when I see one. When you open your mouth, I know narcissists like real good. So it's not a lot that I put up with. Like, don't call me out of my name, don't be hollering, just being combative and arguing. Like, I don't do that anymore. I shut down. I meditate now. And meditating is real good. Sometimes I'll only meditate for 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll meditate for 2 hours and don't even know that I was laying there for 2 hours meditating. But you can read stuff on me, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. And you can do it on Chat PT. You can put in the sign. He did this, he did this, he did this. And it'll tell you, you are dealing with a narcissist. You're dealing with a man who has bad behavior, or how they grew up. And for me, his father beat his mother. So he was a child who saw it. And children that see it are 3 times likely to become an abuser. So you got to pay attention. Even if it's la-di-da-da, you happy. My first date with that man, we went to church. And then we went to dinner with his mom. And then, a year later, we tried to kill him. Because he got caught cheating.
I will say that not every person being abused is being abused by a narcissist. There are many men that are mentally unstable,
Just angry.
okay? Due to many of those situations that they have experienced, that they have seen in their home. So they are not classified as narcissists, so that's for sure. And then with that, it's a thin line. It's a thin line between love and hate. Everybody remember that song?
Yes, we do, yeah.
There's truly a thin line because when you think of all these situations of abuse being done by someone that said they loved you, and isn't that something that we all want to be loved, and we yearn for that. So even when we don't have it, we go to all the wrong places to find it. I truly want to really speak to the young girls in these relationships, and many are losing their lives over stupid stuff. So it's so important for we who know to speak out. You don't have to be on a public platform or anything, but you need to be able to share, because someone needs to know your story. Someone needs to hear. You could be the one to help them avoid that situation. They would think twice. I'm speaking out now. And many have told me what a difference I've made. But I think about those times when no one knew. And I think about those close to me who was abused. And I think, what if I had spoken up? Maybe I could have helped that person avoid that situation. So this is no longer in the closet conversation. We are talking about it out loud. It's been around. It's just not one month. Domestic Violence Month. And it's no. It's 12 months.
Exactly.
It's 12 months a year. It's not something, because it happens too much. Too much.
Yes.
We're 2 of the 12 million every
Yes.
year.
Wow. Well, ladies, I hate to have to say we're ending now. You ladies are gonna have to come back. Really thank you, Miss Linda Kidd, Miss Tara Knight, for sharing your awesome and powerful stories. Just continue to help people and just continue to tell your stories.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Real quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to emphasize, this isn't my journey, it's my journey. This isn't about the abuser. It's about you and me walking through your journey to get to your best self.
Right.
You can't stay where you started.
Right.
You gotta start seeking the support and get the help.
Yeah.
Because again, I say you are worthy, you are beautiful, you're wonderfully made. Believe what he says about you and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, yes. Perfect, yes, you ladies, thank you. So, when we have our round table here, you ladies are definitely gonna be asked to come back and be a part of it, naturally. And with that, I just wanna thank you all again, thank my two lovely hosts.
Thank you.
Miss Lavonda Trim and Andriola Brown. Thank you. And I also want to thank my awesome husband for always raising the bar and
Yes.
coming up with ways to give back and uplift lives.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for decades, and I love you and thank you. And I know for a fact that you love your family, that your family and the
Yes.
community loves you.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes, everyone say, let's get
Get
it.
it, girl.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
IP Home Remodeling that my guys that do work with me wear here. Then I have the Let's Get It Production podcast sweatsuit.
So they can break some ankles in those.
I usually throw this on depending on what school I'm speaking at, where I'm at out of town. So I got a little gear and this is the coat,
Oh yeah.
the Thrive coat. And then this is my kids. This is my kids. I have a chess team from 7 all the way up. This is my kids' elite youth chess team. They wear this and they hoodies when we out doing events. But with that, this is my workout gear. I work out. So I wore this one time out of town on stage. So I need something like this because I work out. Man, I shut them down with this. So I'm gonna be wearing y'all gear, man. We gonna support. We gonna blast this all over, man. So we gotta do this again. So with that, Kate, y'all wanna take the stage?